Welcome back to my channel, me so Lisa, and today I'm going to be talking about the unpopular opinion of hitchhiking. Obviously, it's quite dangerous and you have to have repercussions and be very careful when it comes to hitchhiking because you're getting into a car with a stranger. It's funny, I've seen memes where it's like parents telling you not to get into a car with strangers, and now we got Uber. I have done hitchhiking in the past. I don't do it often because I try not to, because the whole stigma of you can get killed while hitchhiking, so I try not to do it often. But there's scenarios where I was I hate to use the word desperate, but I was pretty much desperate and I had no other choice, I feel. Okay, well, I did probably have another choice. Okay, well, some situations I did have another choice. The other situation I felt like I didn't. Well, I guess you always have a choice. I just felt like at that time I couldn't. You'll see when I explain my situation. So I've done hitchhiking about 4 times. One time was actually in the city I live in, and then the other 3 times was when I was traveling. So the first time I've done it was in 2012. It was the day of my prom. Some of the people in my grade decided to do after parties for prom. Prom ended around, I think it was like 11 p.m. or 12 a.m. the prom ended, so I got a ride from my friend's mom to this after party, and we were there for about 2 hours or so. It was about 2 in the morning when I was like, oh shit, like I should be getting home, or my mom is gonna be freaking out and blah blah blah. So I'm trying to head home, but I have no ride to get home. So I was relying on the public transportation, and at 2 in the morning, there is barely any buses. We're waiting at the bus stop for like, I think it was like 20 minutes or half an hour. We're like, is this bus ever even gonna come? One of my friends got into a taxi, but like we had no money at all. So me and my other friend were like, okay, we'll figure something out. It's okay. Yeah, we're not gonna get into the car because we can't pay for it. So thinking at that time, I probably should have got into that car because we would have figured it out later. Like I could have owed her back. I don't know if she had enough money for the both of us, or I mean all 3 of us or anything. Yeah, so we didn't get into the car, and then we were kind of walking along the road trying to figure out how to get home. I don't think I had a phone with Google Maps. So how did I even try to... Did I have a phone? Not a smartphone. How the heck was I figuring out how to get home? Last resort, because if I don't get home at a certain time, my mom is gonna freak. So I decided to stick up my thumb, and surprisingly a car came and stopped by, I guess because, you know, 2 girls in their prom dress, like what the heck. So it was a guy, and he stopped for us, and then he was asking where we're headed. I don't even think he was going that way, but yeah, he was asking us where we're headed. We told him a intersection that was close to our neighborhood. Yeah, so we get into the car and we're just having small conversations and stuff like that. You know, you're 2 teenagers, you're not gonna be comfortable. And it was he was a middle-aged man. He was very nice. He was just asking us questions, and then he had the radio on. Oh my gosh, at one point in the radio was talking about some serial killer, or not serial killer, but there was like some killing that happened. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to die tonight. Luckily, nothing happened. We got dropped off at the place. We thanked him, like honestly, like you helped us out a lot, and we just thanked him. And then he went on, and then we just walked down this through this neighborhood to get to our neighborhood, and we made it. The second time I hitchhiked was in Greece. This is actually the second and third time was in Greece actually. Yeah, so I stayed in... So the island is quite small, but the way that it's built is that there's only certain major roads that you can basically drive on, because there's this huge mountain in the center of it. You kind of have to drive all the way around to get to your destination. You can't like go through it, which makes it a longer process to get to. So I was staying at Pariza, so that's about the lower part of the island, and I wanted to go to the very top of this mountain view, and it's about 360 meters above sea level. Yeah, it was a long walk. It was in June, so it was quite hot that day. Once I got to the top, I was like, no way in heck am I gonna be hiking back down the same way, because I had to kind of zigzag up the hill, and it was like through, it looked like pretty much bushes I was walking through. There's only like a red paint on like a rock that was, some parts were even hidden because of the long grass. It was quite narrow too, so sometimes I was climbing up to get to the top, so it'll be kind of hard getting down the same way. So I decided I was gonna go to the other town of Camira. So I'll continue on there. At least going down that way, it's downhill, and then there's a road that kind of basically like swerved going downhill. So yeah, I was walking down and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. My feet are dying. Like I have to walk another 2 hours to get down there. I was at the top, and there is a spot that tourists would park. I was actually asking people, I was like, oh yeah, are you heading down? That way would it be okay if I join you on the ride? I think I only asked like 1 or 2 cars. One of them was a private tour, so they would have loved to drive me down, but because it was a private tour, they didn't want to take me because other people paid to be in this car, I guess. And then another one, I think I was too shy at the time, so maybe I just asked that one car and I got rejected, and I decided not to ask anymore. Yeah, so on my way down, I was like, okay, fine, I'll just walk down, but then I was so tired and it was so hot, so I decided to stick out my thumb. And luckily this car stopped, these 2 guys, and then I get in the car. They speak no English, but I was just saying like thank you, like smiling. So they drove me down, like it was like 5-minute drive. It would have been an hour walk or 2-hour walk, but they drove me into the town, and I got out from there, and I decided to go find food because I'm starving, and then just walk around the town and like for an hour or so, because I wanted to get back home before I got late. Either Perigos or Thira was the main bus terminal, so from there you can get all the different buses that would go to different spots in the island, but you have to go there. That was like the hub. I was gonna walk there after. I think it was a Perigo that I was gonna walk down to, and it was about an hour walk. So I was like, okay, let's fuel up, eat, and then I'll get down there, and then I'll just walk. It's just straight. So I'm starting to walk, and I'm getting tired again because I've been walking the whole day. So then I decided to stick up my thumb again. This time a lady, she stopped, and she was asking me where I was going. I was telling her I'm staying in Pariza, and then she's like, oh yeah, I'm going exactly that way. Like I was telling her, I think the hostel, like the area that nearby the hostel, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm actually gonna be going 5 minutes from there, because she works at a restaurant by the beach. And so I was like, oh, thank you, like that saved me some time, like that saved me the bus ride and the time to get there. So she drove me all the way home. It only took like 20 minutes, but probably less than 20 minutes. And then we're just talking in the car, and just explaining how, oh yeah, sorry about the because the windows were down and it was hot and humid. She was like, sorry about the broken window, and because she was in an accident recently during that time. And I was like, oh, sorry to hear that. And so it was just nice talking to her, and just knowing about how long she's been living in the island, because she used to live in Athens. So she moved there a couple of years ago, and she'd been loving it here ever since. And we're just having a conversation. It was really nice. So I feel like it's only certain people that pick you up from hitchhiking, and usually they always have like an open mind, those type of people, which I really like because I have an open mind as well. The 4th time was, I was with my boyfriend, and we were at St. Thomas, US Virgin Island. We're on a cruise, and we had about 8 hours off the boat. So we decided to go basically on the other side of the island where they had a beach. But of course, again, to get to that, by walking, you have to go up a hill, then down the hill. So we're walking, we probably walked like 75% of the way, but I would have hitchhiked earlier, but because I want to kind of check out this place before I got to the actual beach, we were tired. And especially my boyfriend, like he hasn't hiked for a long period of time in heat as well. I was kind of used to it because I did, 2 months of walking everywhere, basically, because it was the cheapest thing to do when you're traveling. He wasn't used to it, and I was like, okay, fine, like let's try to hitchhike. So I stuck out my thumb, and one pickup truck stopped, and he's like, oh, okay, you can sit at the back of the pickup truck. And then that's what we did. We hopped on, and it was like a 2-minute ride, honestly. So he drove us there, dropped us at the gate, and then we had to pay to get into the beach, which was annoying. But on our way back, we decided to, okay, let's not be cheap and actually pay for the ride. So it was about $10 per person to get back. So at least we saved $10 on the way there. But yeah, that's my story of hitchhiking. It's definitely an experience that you'll never forget. I, of course, be very conscious if you decide to do that. Would I hitchhike again in the future? Probably yes. Again, I'll be very careful. Would I pick up hitchhikers? I think I would. Hopefully I don't get killed, but I think I would. Because it's like, you understand, as when you hitchhike, you understand how hard it is, basically. Like, you're relying on kindness of people. Just knowing that these people are willing to stop and risk their safety to like be nice and pick you up and to like drop you along the way somewhere and help you out. I would want to return that favor and do that with other people, and hopefully I don't get killed. It's a unforgettable experience. You meet a lot of great people along the way. So until next time, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment,